You can be alive and still not be in control. That is the part nature does not want you to think about. You believe your fear belongs to you. Your hunger belongs to you. Your decision to run, hide, climb, fight, or freeze belongs to you. But in nature, some parasites have found a way to steal the steering wheel. They do not need to be bigger than you. They do not need claws. They do not need teeth. They just need to get inside. Once they do, the body keeps moving, but the owner is gone. An ant climbs to the perfect place to die. A snail waves its own eyes like a neon sign that says, "Eat me." A cockroach calmly walks beside the wasp that is about to turn it into baby food. And the worst part? These victims are still alive while it happens. Still breathing. Still walking. Still useful. Welcome to BioMisery. Here nature's worst lives are told from the inside. We are entering the world of parasites that control minds. And by the end of this, you may never look at free will the same way again. The body betrays first. The first thing they steal is not your life. It is your choice. That is what makes mind control parasites different from normal killers. A predator is honest. A predator runs at you, bites you, crushes you, swallows you, and the story ends. Terrible? Yes, but simple. A parasite is not simple. A parasite does not always want you dead immediately. Sometimes, dead is useless. Dead cannot walk. Dead cannot climb. Dead cannot carry the parasite to the next perfect place. So the parasite keeps the body alive. And then it starts editing. Not like magic. Not like a movie villain pressing buttons inside your skull. It is quieter than that. It changes signals. It changes movement. It changes fear. It changes the tiny decisions that keep a creature alive. Where to go. What to avoid. When to hide. When to move into danger. That is the real horror. The host still looks alive from the outside. Legs still move. Eyes still see. Muscles still work. But something has changed behind the controls. The animal is not just infected. It is being redirected. This is the meaning of no will. Not dead. Not asleep. Not frozen. Alive, moving, breathing, but no longer fully choosing. And that is why parasites are some of nature's most disturbing villains. They do not need to be huge. They do not need claws. They do not need a dramatic entrance. They only need access. Once they are inside, survival itself can be turned against the host. Fear can become weaker. Danger can become attractive. Safe places can become meaningless. And the body can start walking toward the exact thing it should be running from. Imagine that. Your instincts are still there, somewhere, but they are no longer winning. Something smaller than you has found a way to use you better than you use yourself. A predator attacks your body. A parasite edits your behavior. And one of the clearest examples begins with an ant that suddenly forgets where home is. The ant that climbs to die. In starting, the ant is just another worker. Small, busy, replaceable. It follows trails, carries food, obeys chemical messages, and lives inside the moving machine of the colony. Every step has a purpose. Every path has a smell. Every worker knows where it belongs. Then the fungus changes the route. The ant leaves the trail. That alone is already wrong. For an ant, the colony is safety. The trail is the road back to everything familiar. But this infected worker begins moving away from it, as if the old map inside its body has been quietly deleted. It does not run in panic. It does not fight an enemy. It simply walks. That is what makes it creepy. The body is calm, but the destination is cursed. The fungus needs height. It needs a place where the air, moisture, and position are useful. So the ant climbs. Up a stem. toward a leaf, away from the colony below. This is not bravery. This is not confusion. This is placement. The ant is being moved like a tiny piece on a board. Then comes the final command. Bite. The jaws clamp onto the leaf and lock there. The ant does not choose a resting place. It is fastened into position. Its mouth becomes a hook. Its body becomes a stand. Later, the fungus grows from the dead ant and releases spores down onto the forest below. So the ant was never just dying. It was being arranged. Its legs became transport. Its jaws became a lock. Its corpse became a tower. That is the BioMisery part. The ant does not die where it wants. It dies where the fungus needs. And if that sounds horrifying, wait until you meet the parasite that turns a snail's own eyes into bait. The snail with puppet eyes. Your eyes are no longer yours. That is the nightmare. Not your legs. Not your shell. Not even your hiding place. Your eyes. The one part of your body meant to help you notice danger becomes the thing that invites danger closer. Somewhere in the wet green world of leaves and shadows, a snail moves slowly through life. It is soft, exposed, and already living like nature forgot to give it a proper defense plan. Its shell helps, but not enough. Its speed is basically a joke. Its best survival strategy is simple. Stay hidden, stay low, and do not become interesting. Then a parasite enters the story. And suddenly, hiding is no longer the plan. Inside the snail, the parasite begins changing the body's future. It does not need the snail to fight. It does not need the snail to chase anything. It needs the snail to be noticed. So it turns the snail into advertising. The eye stalks swell. They become colorful. They pulse and move like tiny worms trapped inside the snail's own face. To a bird above, those moving stalks do not look like eyes anymore. They look like food. Imagine that. The part of you designed to see danger becomes the reason danger sees you. That is mind control in one of its ugliest forms. Not a voice in the head. Not a villain giving orders. A parasite changing the body until the host becomes easier to sacrifice. The snail is not just infected. It is displayed. Its own face becomes a signboard. A flashing message to the sky. Eat me. And if a bird does, the parasite gets exactly what it wants. A new host. A new stage. A new body to use. The snail did not choose attention. The snail did not choose exposure. It became bait with a heartbeat. And if that feels cruel, the next parasite does something even colder. It does not turn the host into bait. It makes the host walk calmly into its own grave. The cockroach that walks into its own grave. The cockroach can still walk. That is the worst part. It is not dead. It is not paralyzed. It is not being dragged across the ground like helpless prey. Its legs work. Its body works. But the will to escape has been unplugged. A jewel wasp finds the cockroach and attacks with terrifying precision. This is not a messy fight. This is surgery with wings. The wasp stings the cockroach in a way that changes how it behaves. The cockroach should panic. It should run. It should vanish into the nearest crack like every cockroach with basic self-respect. But after the sting, something is missing. The alarm is still there somewhere, but it no longer controls the room. The wasp does not need to carry the cockroach. That would be hard. Cockroaches are heavy compared to a wasp. Dragging one home would be exhausting. So the wasp uses a better method. It leads. The cockroach follows. No chains. No cage. No dramatic monster rope. Just a living body walking beside the creature that has already planned its ending. That is what makes this one feel so wrong. A predator killing prey is brutal, but at least the prey usually understands the assignment. Escape or die. This cockroach has lost that simple privilege. It can move, but it does not properly resist. It can walk, but not away. It has become delivery. The wasp guides it into a burrow, a quiet little room where the cockroach will become food for the wasp's young. Not immediately in a cinematic explosion of horror. Slowly, efficiently, like nature filled out a form and stamped approved. The cockroach did not just lose a fight. It lost the decision to fight back. That is no will at its cleanest and cruelest. A body with working legs. A victim with no escape plan. A meal that delivers itself. And at this point, the pattern is clear. The host is no longer just infected. The host is being used. The host becomes a tool. At some point, the pattern becomes impossible to ignore. The parasite is not just trying to survive. It is turning someone else into equipment. That is the formula hiding inside all of this. The ant becomes a climbing machine. The snail becomes a flashing advertisement. The cockroach becomes a walking lunch delivery service. Different creatures. Different parasites. Same nightmare. The host stops being treated like a living thing and starts being used like an object with legs, eyes, muscles, instincts, and a body that can still move. That is why mind control parasites feel worse than normal predators. A predator uses force. A parasite uses function. It looks at the host and asks one ugly question. What can this body do for me? Can it carry me higher? Can it get me eaten by the right animal? Can it walk me into a safe nursery? Can it protect my babies? Can it spread me to the next body? And once the answer is yes, the host's own survival becomes less important than the parasite's plan. This is where nature becomes disturbing in a very quiet way. There is no villain speech, no evil laugh, no dramatic lightning in the background. Just biology finding a shortcut. The host may still breathe. It may still walk. It may still react to the world. But its actions are no longer fully its own. Its body has become a tool being used from the inside out. A taxi, a billboard, a nursery, a trap, a tower, a meal that still has legs. And that is what makes the words "no" will so powerful. It does not mean the host is frozen. It means the host is active, useful, and moving in the wrong direction. The scariest thing is not always losing your life. Sometimes, it is losing the part of you that chooses where your life goes next. And once that choice is gone, death is no longer the beginning of the horror. It is just the final step in someone else's plan. Why no will is worse than death. Death is simple, not pleasant, not fair, but simple. One moment, the creature is alive. The next, the story ends. A predator bites. A bird swallows. A spider wraps. A larger animal steps down. And the tiny life underneath is gone. That is brutal nature. But no will is different. No will means the story does not end when the danger begins. It continues while the victim is still inside it. Still moving. Still breathing. Still reacting. But no longer fully choosing. That is what makes mind control parasites so unsettling. They do not just remove life. They remove ownership first. The ant still climbs. The snail still crawls. The cockroach still walks. But the meaning of those movements has changed. What used to be survival becomes service. What used to be instinct becomes instruction. What used to be a body becomes a machine with a new driver. A normal death takes the creature out of the story. Mind control forces the creature to help write the ending. That is worse. Because the victim becomes part of the trap. The ant helps the fungus reach the perfect leaf. The snail helps the parasite reach the bird. The cockroach helps the wasp reach the nursery. Not by choice, by manipulation. The body participates in its own defeat. That is the cruel genius of these parasites. They do not always need strength. They do not always need speed. They do not need to win a fight in the normal way. They win by changing what the victim does next. And if you think about it, that is one of the deepest fears any living thing can have. Not pain, not hunger, not even death, but the moment your own body becomes unreliable. The moment escape no longer feels urgent. The moment danger starts looking like a direction. Death steals the ending. Parasites like these steal the author. No will. So that is the real danger of mind control parasites. They do not always look like monsters. Sometimes they look like a spore, a worm, a sting, or something so small the victim never notices the moment ownership changes. But once they enter the story, the body becomes negotiable. An ant can climb away from home. A snail can turn its own eyes into bait. A cockroach can walk beside the creature that plans to use it. Different victims. Same nightmare. The body keeps moving, but the choice is gone. That is what no will really means. Not death. Not sleep. Not weakness. It means being alive while something else decides what your life is useful for. And maybe that is why these parasites feel so disturbing. They remind us that nature's quietest horrors do not always chase, roar, or bite. Sometimes, they enter silently. Sometimes, they wait. Sometimes, they change one tiny instruction inside a living body. And suddenly, survival starts walking in the wrong direction. This is BioMisery, where nature does not just end lives. Sometimes, it edits them first.